Ghosted with Criss and Paige. I'm your host, Criss, and this is...
And I'm your co-host, Paige.
This is our test run here at a shared universe in Asbury Park on the boardwalk, and we're excited to be here.
Absolutely. We are just looking out onto the ocean, and it is beautiful today. It's cold, but...
It's gorgeous. It looks great, and, I'm super excited to be in here actually getting to do a podcast by myself. Usually I'm behind the board a lot.
True. This is both our first podcast. I used to work in radio, but I've never done a podcast, so I'm kind of used to being behind the mic a little bit. It's been a few years, but you help run everything at a shared universe, so...
Yeah, I get my chance to be on the mic pretty occasionally just because people want me to chime in, or just in case they need help or anything. I usually have a mic ready to go. But today we're here for something way different. What are we doing today?
Okay, so maybe from the title you would think, ghosted, someone ghosted me, online dating. No, this is a paranormal podcast.
Yes, this is the Paranormal podcast.
So Ghosted, Criss and Paige. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, okay, yeah. This episode we decided, it's going to be our intro, just our start, our launching point essentially. And we wanted to, have it be an introduction to us first and foremost. So we were going to share our paranormal experience. One of our most, I guess, you have a ton, right?
I have more than I can count. Since I was a small bebe, I have had paranormal experiences.
Okay, yeah. I've had a bunch within the last 6-7 years.
So I brought them into your life.
Yeah, more or less.
For everyone who, obviously, this is our first podcast, so no one knows we are a couple. We've been dating for almost 6 years. Mm-hmm. So just so you know that dynamic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like I dragged you into the paranormal world because I've been so...
immersed in it.
Yeah. It's just, my house is haunted. My cousin's house is haunted. We have mutual friends whose houses we've helped investigate at. We've gone on ghost hunts in West Virginia and a cemetery with my cousin. It's just always a big part of my life. So it's, now part of your life too.
Yeah. Now it just happens to be there, and it's pretty wild how I kind of just didn't notice it before. And that was the biggest thing. I could just be that was the wind. Yeah.
Well, once you're more open to it and more aware, you're more aware. Once you're more you're more open to it, you're more aware. Duh. You start, if you're open to it, it'll come. Mm-hmm. As in most things in life.
Yeah. I guess once you have someone pointing it out, you're I suppose you're right. How did that happen?
How did that pair of pants fly off the closet across the room by itself at 3 a.m.?
Yeah, exactly. Something like that.
That's a fun story.
But we thought we'd come here today and bring you just, some delicious morsels to really get you started. And do you want to go first with yours?
Sure. Well, I think I should also say first, our plans for this podcast, we are going to tell our own supernatural, paranormal experiences, things we've seen separate, seen together, investigations we've gone on. But also we want to bring on guests and have people come in and tell their stories, see what everyone else... I know Asbury Park is so haunted. Yeah. The paranormal bookstore is here. They do tours. We're right next to Convention Hall. So there's tons of places that are haunted, people with stories, especially
old buildings.
Here. Oh,
so
my
many
God.
Things that have history and that have so much energy attached to them.
So much. And anyone who would ever want to write into us, we would love to hear your stories as well.
Oh, yeah. Guest stories like that. I know that we'll have a Twitter and Instagram and social media, so you'll be able to interact with us to be able to, send in your stories, and we'll have other guests and things, and it'll be really exciting. So yeah. I'm really, really happy about all of this. Me
too. We'll have some things planned. Still working out everything. Like I said, this is our first one, so kind of just getting the feel of everything. Yeah, getting into the motions and getting comfortable with being on the mic and being able to tell,
good stories or just something that's entertaining. Something to be like, ooh, I got the chills.
Yeah, get the chills. Oh, that's the best part. I think it's just like the thrill factor. Like when you're a kid, you know, kids like tell the like local legends and everything of like if you're camping. Like I used to camp in my backyard, and we'd have the story of like a crazy person who escaped like a jail or something that would live in the woods, and they would like stalk you. And, like, you know, those.
Yeah, we had tons of urban legends like that.
Yeah.
And we used to have urban legends about coyotes around the town, and then we got coyotes, so that was kind of weird.
Yeah, that's the scary part, because those are like, man, we see those all the time.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. But, yeah, you know, I can't imagine how many times I've been sitting around the fire telling, you know, ghost stories, things like that. We always had, you know, what's coming over from the other side of the tracks.
Yeah,
things like
exactly.
That. And then as we grew up, it became like New Jersey's haunted stuff. We used to do Weird
New Jersey, the best, yes.
And go on all of those trips to all those destination spots, as they call them.
Gates of Hell, the Devil's Tree.
Oh yeah.
My gosh. Just to name two out of like the hundreds. I actually just, Facebook, there was a map of all the haunted, like most haunted places in New Jersey to go visit. It's like the haunted trail, like, I don't know, it's like some like road tripping map you could do to go see all the like haunted stuff. So I saved that, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Maybe we'll do that and we'll have to document it and post it.
Ooh, that's a really good idea. Yeah, okay.
I don't know, let us know what you guys think. If
Yeah.
you're into that sort of thing, I'm into that sort of thing. So
Yeah.
this is our podcast. We'll do it anyways. Just kidding.
Exactly.
But if you're into it,
we'll just, you know, keep building on to what we have and go from there. And that's going to be cool.
go with the flow.
Yeah, the ghosty flow.
Okay, so I guess we should go into our stories. Do you want me to go first? Do you want to go first?
Yeah, do you want to go first? Yeah.
Okay. Well, ever since I was a baby, my family has been like, you see ghosts. There's something paranormal. You're seeing stuff. So I guess my first interaction, what I'm told, because obviously I was an infant, like after my grandfather passed, there was like, I don't know, he used to do something that he was the only one to make me laugh like really hard when I was a baby. And after he passed, I would look off into the distance creepily and start laughing hysterically, like the way he would make me laugh. And if anyone walked in, I would stop, like dead stop. And everyone's like, what are you doing? You okay in there? And I'm just like, I'm a baby, I don't know. So that was like, everyone's like, oh yeah, she's definitely seeing something. Kids are more susceptible to spirit when they're young and everything. Well, their kids are young. But the first paranormal experience that I can, as far back as I can remember, I think it was like between 5 and 6, and it was a doppelganger situation. Mm-hmm. We were out of state on vacation. It was summer. We were at a water park. And I'm running around. My cousins are all somewhere. I don't know where anyone is. And all of a sudden, I am face to face with a little girl who looks exactly like me in the middle of the pool.
What?
Like we both had our hair same color. Our face looked like it looked like I was looking in a mirror. Same bathing suit. Hair, like both of us had braids in with the same color, like little ties in our hair. Both the same glasses. Both like this, like everything was just the same. It was like looking into a mirror, but I'm in the middle of a pool. There's no mirror there.
I was about to say, have you not seen the pool mirror?
Come on. I should know better.
Yeah.
So I literally just stopped and I gasped and I was like, hi. And she ran away. And I freaked out. I cried. I was so scared. I didn't understand what was going on. Mm-hmm. And I went to find I think I went to find my aunt or my grandma, someone. I went to find someone and no one saw this other little girl. Like she disappeared. She was gone. I looked all over the pool. Nothing. There was no little girl that looked like me. It was the scariest thing because me and her, it was like, it felt like an eternity. It must have been like 30 seconds of us just staring at each other and being like, what's
shock.
Going on? Yeah. And then she just disappeared. She dove off into the other side of the pool and was gone.
Wow. That's the worst part. Just that 30 seconds.
Just gone. It was crazy. My cousin's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, just sobbing. I was like, she looks just like me. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I mean,
it was
you imagine
terrifying.
Someone wearing the same bathing suit as you?
Ha ha. Like, that's fine. Like, okay, who wore it best? But we looked the same, so we both wore it best.
True. You both get first place.
Thank God. But that was the first thing I can remember that was like, and at the time I didn't know what that was, but like I've been hearing a lot of stories about doppelgangers lately, and so it kind of struck a chord in me. I was like, oh, is that what that was? Mm-hmm. And actually around my town too, I get stopped all the time. They're like, hi Megan, hi Megan. I'm like, I'm not Megan. I don't know who this girl is. Like at least once or twice a month, if I'm out in town, someone's like, oh, Megan. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, I don't know who this Megan girl is.
Reaching out to all those Middlesex Megans out there. Paige is the one you look like.
Yeah, hey Megan, I don't know if this happens to you too, but apparently we are like mirror images because everyone's like, oh yeah, I love your haircut, or like, oh yeah, I love that outfit you wore the other day. I'm like, what are you talking about? I have no clue. I'm very confused. I don't know you. I'm afraid of people. Let me run.
Yeah.
I don't make eye contact. I just go, what do I got to do? I don't want to be bothered. And I'm like, who are you stopping me for, Megan? I don't know Megan.
Yeah, Megan, excuse me?
I'm so sorry, Megan. I hope this doesn't bother you as much as it freaks me out.
That's... I definitely don't get that ever. So it's good to hear about someone like running into or being recognized as someone else. Because whenever anyone sees me, they're always like, oh, it's Criss. Oh, it's Criss.
No, everyone's like, yay, it's Criss. Because anytime we're out together, it's like, oh my God, hi Criss, it's so long to see you. Oh, what are you doing? Love your stuff, oh my God. And it's like, my boyfriend's the cool one.
My first paranormal experience, well, I guess the one that stands out the most that happened, I guess it had to be like 4 years ago. I was working a late shift at one of my other jobs, and I had locked up late. I guess it was 1 a.m. at this point in time. It looked pretty empty. You know, I made sure I cleaned out all the rooms. It was only me, and I get paranoid at night, so I just lock everything up. And I have this old closed circuit relay camera that I was watching on, and I'm looking, and I see I guess it was like a mother and her child
chills.
walking up the hallway, and I was like, it's 1 a.m. What is a woman and a child walking up the hallway for? That's wild. And then I went to look outside, and there was nothing there. But that's what I looked on the monitor, and I was like, I've never seen any kind of like disruption like that. It's an old, it's like a real old mini TV, but it doesn't make people appear. I've never seen anyone have, not like that, because it kind of just looked silhouette-y. And usually the camera picks up details pretty well.
Yeah,
so
yeah, it definitely does.
I was just like, I was flipping out. Oh my goodness. It was so, I just wanted to get out of there at that point. And then eventually we went back and actually did a ghost hunt.
That we did. And
of this place.
A few of us have actually seen like the camera, like you're saying, it's really old. It's an old TV, and it doesn't record anything.
Yeah. Like
it's just a live feed, so whatever you're seeing can't be tampered with.
Yeah.
It's literally like it's in the highest corner. Like no one could even reach it to mess with it.
Yeah, you'd get a stool or something to really play with it. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it, especially because the place is like a labyrinth, so it's all a bunch of twisting like corridors and stuff.
Yeah.
And they all go into multiple rooms. So I was like, I better be the only person here. This is the worst.
But especially they'd have to pass, if anyone came in, like ghost or not, they'd have to pass you.
Yeah.
They'd have to pass by your part of the building.
Mm-hmm.
Like you would hear
I'd hear footsteps.
Yeah.
You'd hear something.
You would definitely.
I definitely did not hear footsteps. I didn't hear the door open. I did not hear, two people, not just one, but two people walk by. So that really...
yeah, they couldn't have even gotten by the door without you. By the time you open the door to check, like they'd still be walking down the hall.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's no way. Or if they walked out, you'd hear the door close. Like...
Well, they would have to... unlock the door first, and that takes a little bit of time.
I forgot. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, unlocking the door. You need a key.
You would need a key to get in, and let me tell you, I don't know any mother and child that works there.
Yeah.
So that's a thing. And that for me was when I was like, maybe there's some merit, some bite to this whole paranormal extra sensory type stuff that's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was skeptical at first, and now I've seen some things and been like, okay, yeah, I can't explain that one. That's crazy.
There's just no explanation.
Yeah. And that's kind of, I don't know, I think that was the first time that I was also like, yeah, I can definitely say that I saw something, and that I was like chilled to the bone about it. It wasn't like a regular scare.
Yeah. But once you realize, oh, I'm not alone, I think that's when people get the most afraid, is like, you're not afraid of being alone, you're afraid of not being alone when you think you are.
Yeah, you feel very vulnerable, especially at night.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh. No, it's dark out. You don't know. You're just trying to get home. You're just trying to finish your job, and all of a sudden, a spirit, like two spirits, walk through.
Yeah, exactly. So I definitely was not having any of that. You can't even really get to the place where I work unless you like pull up with your car and the parking lot was empty.
Yeah, and you have to know where it is, too.
Yeah, and there are dead ends on like both sides. So,
Peculiar.
very peculiar. That's the word I want to use.
I know Chris said earlier, we did investigate, I think twice. The first time I didn't have equipment.
The first time we didn't really have anything special to use at all.
Yeah. But our second one was more recent, and that...
Oh, yeah, we had a few things going. We had the EMF.
Yeah. Well, we had the EMF going. Mm-hmm. We had the spirit box going. We had our phones recording. We caught some EVPs, which was really wild.
Yeah.
We saw something walk by on the monitor again. Mm-hmm. But the funny part of that night too was living actual people on the door. They were outside of the place just like making out on the door. And that was so funny. We were just in the middle of a ghost hunt, and all of a sudden people are just making out on the front door that's locked and the lights are off. We're like, okay.
Oh, well, Rocky Horror had just gotten out, and everyone's all jazzed up after the time warp, you know.
I mean, let's see the time warp again.
They were trying to on our door.
We were like, goodbye.
We turned the lights on. We were just like, flicker. 1, 2, 3.
We were messing with, we were just like, let's get them away from the door so we can continue our investigation.
We have better things to do than people watch. We got spirit watching.
We got some spirit watching to do.
Yeah, and I think that really opened a, not gateway, but a door to being more susceptible to these types of things, personally. So that's really interesting, and I just wanted to, share my experience and hear everyone else's experience. And
absolutely,
it's pretty cool. It's just pretty cool to see something that you cannot explain.
Yeah, and if you've never had your own paranormal experience, it really is like almost undescribable. It's so crazy because you're like, that didn't just happen. But then the more and more you experience things, it's like, okay, so it's not just us. Like, obviously energies are left. Whether you believe in, you could be skeptic, I don't know, you could not believe in this at all, but there's got to be something. There has to be something.
Just because, I truly just have no way to describe something like that. And I've had like experiences prior, but I never thought 100% that I was fully awake, I guess. I was asleep one time and I woke up to see an apparition of a red-headed woman, but I couldn't tell you if I was, lucid dreaming or if I was awake and just startled. But that was like the first time. And at that point I was like, I'm going to write this off right now because I can't explain that. And then, just grew up a little bit older and was like, okay, some kind of explanation.
There's, that was at your friend's house, right?
Yeah.
And didn't
they had
one of
multiple
them
experience? Yeah.
with the same redheaded spirit, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's just validation right there. It's not like you were just like, guys, is this how, like, it.
Yeah, it wasn't just like out of the blue.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, I experienced this, and then you realize later in life, oh, you guys experienced this too? Wait a second.
Wait a minute. Yeah, exactly. So it was cool bonding in that experience as well. Having some sort of validation was certainly it was a relief. Yeah.
Yeah. It just confirms, like, okay, so this actually did happen. Mm-hmm. That's terrifying. If I'm waking up and seeing someone, I'm crying. Yeah. I am crying. First off, I'm asleep. I'm just happy. I'm just sleeping. And then I wake up to a person in my face. Nope.
Not in my face, but like floating above me. She didn't have a face, so that's the problem.
Oh no. And see, I welcome this, but not when I'm sleeping. If I'm actively seeking it out, I'm ready. But even if I'm just, let me just be awake. I don't want to be asleep and then woken up to something.
Yeah, I think that was way more jarring. I don't think I was woken up by it per se. I think I naturally woke up.
Yeah.
But still scared the heebie-jeebies out of me.
That's only happened to me once where I woke up to something. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. It's so weird to even think. I have chills thinking about it. I woke up to someone poking my back. And I rolled over and I looked up and it was just a woman going, shh, and like wanted me to go back to sleep, and she disappeared. I slept with all my lights on for a week and a half because I was like, nope.
Nope.
And this is not a spirit I've seen in my house before because I have two resident spirits, as I call them. They have residency for life at my house.
For afterlife, rather.
For afterlife, exactly. One is named Marie, and the other one I called George. George appeared to me outside of my house, and I asked him if he was okay because he was all not like bloody, like someone like he just like his clothes were a little bloody.
He was looking a little war torn.
Yeah, he was like an old like I don't know, World War I, World War II like type of clothes, like soldier clothing. Mm-hmm. And he's bloody. I'm like, are you okay? And he just looks at me, nods, and goes. And then starts to turn away to walk away, and he dissipates right in front of me. Yeah, and so where I live, my house is well over 100 years old, and it used to be like, allegedly, my whole town used to be like barracks for soldiers or something, or it was some like homes or something for soldiers when they got back from war. I don't know. It was a very like soldier oriented town. And I mean, that's first from like some research. I've heard stories in like our online Facebook group for our town. So I don't know if that's exactly true or not. But I mean, after seeing that, I was like, oh, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like my basement is the scariest looking thing in the world. It has like an old time cellar door. And I'm like, okay.
Oh God. Yeah.
But
just thinking about it.
Yeah, no. So I feel and he didn't scare me. He seemed like a cool presence. Like, and I feel like I catch him out of like the side of my eye or something. I'm like, is that George? Marie is a tricky ghost. She is a trickster or spirit. She's a trickster. My mom, a couple years ago, my mom had a back surgery, and I was up at like 3 a.m. just like working online, doing stuff, getting stuff done for the next day. And I heard what I thought was my mother crying and going to the bathroom. My bedroom wall is like on the other side. It's my bedroom on one side, the bathroom on the other. So when like an hour goes by, I'm like, why is my mom still up? Like, why is she crying? Like, let me go check on her. I walk out of my room and I check the bathroom. The light's on, the door's open, but no one's in there. But I just literally, like, my mom and I would have had to bump into each other. Like, There's no way she would have passed me. Like, the way my house is, my mom's room, then the hallway to my room, and the hallway to the bathroom. So we'd have to cross paths.
Yeah, there's no way you wouldn't be able to do that little dance in between in the hallway.
Yeah, there's no way. So I walk back and I look around the corner to my mom's room, and my mom's, like, dead asleep. And she's a light sleeper, so if she had just had been up within even the last 20 minutes, she'd still be up.
Yeah.
Like, I would see her reading. So I was like, what? Like, she's asleep. So I go back into the bathroom. I turn off the lights, and I sit in between the doorway, and, like, I'm just looking out. Now I'm looking out into my kitchen from where I am. All of a sudden, I start smelling, like, really sweet floral, like, older woman perfume. And I'm like, okay, like, what the hell? Like, what is this?
Yeah.
Out from where I just was, checking on my mom, comes a spirit, all in white, kind of see-through, floating on by, and she just looks at me and smiles. And then she goes through the wall to my basement.
Thank you, Marie.
And in that moment, I was like, I feel like your name is Marie. From that day on, for over a year, maybe 2 years, she loved to play tricks on me. She would, as I mentioned earlier, I had a pair of shorts fly off the top of my closet onto the other side of my room at 3 a.m. I was up again, just working on stuff, and I'm like, what is that noise? And I look behind me, I see my shorts moving by themselves, and then they fly across the room, like a good 20, 30 feet.
You know, like a good pair of shorts would.
Yeah, they always fly, right? Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, Marie, thanks, you can stop. Nothing else happened. Other times, if I'm up at 2, 3 a.m., I used to have lanterns on my ceiling, and she would spin them viciously. Were you ever privy to that? You saw that, right?
Yeah, when you had the hanging sock holder, something holder.
What?
Hanging from your ceiling. You had something hanging from your ceiling.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yes, I had like a basket.
It starts spinning real hard, and there is no wind in your room. There's no air in your room.
That's right. I had like this blue mesh basket that was meant to hold socks or something hanging. I forgot about that. Mm-hmm. So she liked to spin things. She liked to make anything go off. I actually, our friend Addie and an old friend of ours, Nick, they were staying over my house one night, and it was around 3 a.m. I was like, guys, just be prepared if like some weird stuff happens. I have a spirit here named Marie, and she likes to play with us. They were both like, shut up. No, you don't. Like, this isn't real. I'm like, okay. 3 o'clock hits. I kid you not. Every single one of my lanterns, which was like 7 or 8 of them on my ceiling, started spinning viciously.
Yeah.
Like hardcore, just spinning. And the looks on my friends' faces, they were ghostly white. They lost every bit of themselves in that moment and started sobbing. They're like, make it stop, make it stop. I'm like, okay, Marie, you can stop. And like that, the lantern stopped. And that was years ago. That was like 5-6 years ago. Mm-hmm. Nick's never stayed at my house again. Adelaide has only recently in the last year stayed over once more. Yeah. Like and she still says, she's like, there's no ghosts that are going to get me, right? I'm like, nope, you're good.
I don't think so.
I haven't personally. I feel them around sometimes. Like little things happen, but not as much as they used to. Like things don't go flying around my room anymore. Mm-hmm. Actually, literally yesterday, I was putting towels away. And I closed the door, like the bathroom door, so so the closet door could open. And as I closed, and I didn't close it all the way, so it wasn't like a suction or anything. Like there was like a few inches between like the door and the lock. So I closed the closet door, and I turned to go open the bathroom door, and it opened for me. And I was like, I literally just looked at him like, that's never happened before.
That's peculiar.
And it was just, and I felt a really big chill when it happened. I was like, I can't explain this. I don't know if maybe there was suction for me closing the closet door or something, but I don't know. So it was weird. Or like I watched cabinet doors close in my house 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. I didn't close the cabinet, and I looked over and it just closed by itself, and I went, thank you.
Okay.
I was like, whatever.
I was going to close that anyway.
I mean, thanks. I appreciate it. Thanks for closing it for me since I was not paying attention.
Yeah. Oh my God. So yeah, that's what really this episode was about, just sharing our stories with you so you get a feel for
little things we go through.
Yeah, for what kind of things that we'll have coming up in the future. We're looking forward to a lot of different stories, guests. We have tons.
Yeah. Oh man. from investigations to doing like weird New Jersey roads
To the graveyard.
graveyards, going out of state and investigating. Oof.
Yeah, but there's a lot, and it's all going to be on here. So you'll have to tune in more to get some more awesome stories, huh?
Absolutely.
And we'll have social media and everything soon. This was just the test run, so
Yeah, be on the lookout. It'll be something like Ghosted with Criss and Paige, some sort of variation, as long as nothing should be taken.
no, I don't think so. I think we did a look beforehand.
Yeah.
But
If you, sorry.
oh no, go for it.
If you're interested in sending in your stories or any questions or comments, concerns, etc., you can email us at ghostedwithcrissandpaige@gmail.com, and that's Criss, Criss, and Paige, Paige. So ghostedwithcrissandpaige@gmail.com.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much, and we hope you guys tune in for next episode.
Yeah. We hope we you better.